In this class we study about the properties of steam. So we know what do you mean by steam. Steam we can just see in our day-to-day life when we boil a water that we are having the water vapors. So this water vapor is not this water vapor will contain some amount of heat. So once if you see the heat in the boiling water compared to the heat in the boiling water, this heat in the gas is having more heat. That is, gaseous state will be containing more heat compared to the liquid state. So that is the qualities of steam. The qualities of steam, first one, they produce from water. That steam is produced from water, clean, odorless and tasteless, and easily distributed and controlled. It can be easily distributed and it can be easily controlled, and heat can be used over and over, and high usable heat content. I told you that boiling water, compared to the boiling water, heat in the boiling water, the steam will contain more amount of heat. So that is why here high usable heat content. Next one, it gives up heat at a constant temperature. See, you can do an experiment in your room. So boil a water and the steam will comes up, and you place your hand here, you can feel the more amount of heat compared to the heat which you can just dip your hand here, finger here, and you can see, and you can compare the heat content in the steam and in the boiling water, and you can make assure that the heat content in the steam is higher. Okay, next one we see an experiment, so that see how the steam is formed. So it is not needed, but for an explaining, I will be explaining you. So consider 1 kg of water at 0 degrees centigrade taken in a cylinder fitted with a freely moving frictionless piston. So this is the cylinder and frictionless piston with a pressure of P, and 1 kg of water at 0 degrees centigrade. So 1 kg of water at 0 degrees centigrade is a freezing point. So at 0 degrees centigrade you can see the water will be at a ice, will be at ice stage. So now the initial condition of water at 0 degrees centigrade is represented by a point A on the temperature. So you can see the temperature in the y-axis and enthalpy in the x-axis. So enthalpy versus temperature, you can see the temperature is 0 and the enthalpy, that is heat content, is also 0. Now we just see one more diagram. So here you can see the temperature here, temperature and versus fuel consumption. So sensible heat, you can see the ice is being converted into the water, and that is melting or freezing. So that we call as the latent heat of fusion. So latent heat of fusion, that is when the ice is being converted into the water. So the heat absorbed by the water to convert the stage of ice to the water is called as the sensible heat. And then part we have to do, we have to heat the water to the steam. So that is melting or freezing the liquid water. Then that water that we can call the latent heat of fusion, that is melting or freezing of the water, melting. So that we call as the latent heat of fusion, and the liquid water will be get heated up and it will boil. That we call as the sensible heat, that is heat absorbed by the water. And then we can see that the heat absorbed by the water to get vaporized, that is from stage of liquid to the gaseous stage, that we call as the latent heat of vaporization. So we are having three conditions. The latent heat of we can summarize this one in this diagram. So you can see sensible heat, that is water heating. So here we are not taking the ice stage. So here we are taking the liquid stage of water, that is ice stage of water is not taken. Here we are taking the liquid stage of water. We are just heating the water, so that the heat water will absorb the heat and it will convert it into the boiling water. Then we can see the latent heat of vaporization. So latent heat of vaporization means the heat absorbed by the water to get vaporized. So that we call as latent heat of vaporization. So then when it get vaporized, so then it comes steam. Then the sensible heat, that is the steam, that steam will absorb some amount of heat and to convert into the superheating state. So that we call as the sensible heat. അതായത് ആദ്യം നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പോട്ടിൽ വെള്ളം വെക്കും. ആ വെള്ളം വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അത് നമ്മൾ ഹീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ആ വെള്ളം ബോയിലിംഗ് ചൂടാവാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എടുക്കുന്ന ഹീറ്റാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ സെൻസിബിൾ ഹീറ്റ്. പിന്നെ ആ ചൂടായ വെള്ളം അത് തിളച്ചിട്ട് അത് ഗ്യാസ് സ്റ്റേജിലേക്ക് എത്തണമെങ്കിൽ അതെടുക്കുന്നതാണ് ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ് ഓഫ് വേപ്പറൈസേഷൻ. പിന്നെ ആ സ്റ്റീമിനെ ഇനിയും നമ്മൾ ഹീറ്റാക്കിയിട്ട് സൂപ്പർ ഹീറ്റ് ആക്കാൻ എടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഹീറ്റാണ് സെൻസിബിൾ ഹീറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഐസ് സ്റ്റേജ് കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 3 തരത്തിൽ പറയാം. ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ് ഓഫ് മെൽറ്റിംഗ് ഫ്യൂഷനും ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ് ഓഫ് വേപ്പറൈസേഷനും പറയാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇവിടെ നോക്കാം. So here you can see the sensible heat. So 0 to up to the boiling point and then up to the steam. So then the amount of superheat, so that we call as AOS, that we get from here. So you can see the sensible heat that is being represented as HF, and latent heat, that is HFG, and superheat, that is HFS. So it is and degree of superheat is a TS minus TSUP. So TSUP minus TS. Okay, so we see now the different states of steam. So I will just show you what I mean by superheat and latent heat. So the heat required to change the temperature of a substance is called as a sensible heat. Change the temperature of a substance is called as the sensible heat. If 1 kg of water in a vessel at 25 degrees centigrade containing heat value of 25 kilocalories is heated by adding 75 kilocalories, the water is poured to boiling point of 100 degrees. So that is heat added to boil. That next one, to change the water to steam, that is to change the water to steam, an additional 540 calories is required. This quantity of heat required to change a chemical from liquid to gases is called as the latent heat. Similarly, അതേപോലെ നിങ്ങളൊരു ഐസാണ് എടുക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ ആ ഐസിനെ വാട്ടർ ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ എടുക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു ഹീറ്റിനെ നമ്മൾ എന്താ പറയുക, ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ് ഓഫ് ഫ്യൂഷൻ എന്ന് പറയും. അതേപോലെ ആ വാട്ടറിനെ സ്റ്റീം ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അഡീഷണലി എടുക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ നിങ്ങൾ എന്താ പറയും, ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ് ഓഫ് വേപ്പറൈസേഷൻ. ഇത് നിങ്ങൾ വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. സെൻസിബിൾ ഹീറ്റ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഒരു വാട്ടറിനെ ബോയിലിംഗ് ചെയ്യിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി എടുക്കുന്ന ഹീറ്റാണ് സെൻസിബിൾ ഹീറ്റ്. അത് അത്രയേ വേണ്ടു. ഒരു 25 ഡിഗ്രി സെൻറ്റിഗ്രേഡിന് 100 ഡിഗ്രി സെൻറ്റിഗ്രേഡാകും വാട്ടർ ബോയിലാവും. പിന്നെ ആ ബോയിൽ ചെയ്ത വാട്ടറിന് അഡീഷണൽ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഹീറ്റ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് എന്താ ലേറ്റൻറ്റ് ഹീറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, so next we see the different types of different states of steam. ഇനി നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റീം പഠിച്ചു. Now we see the different states of steam. The states of steam is of 3 types: wet steam, dry saturated steam, and superheated steam. Wet steam, dry saturated steam, and superheated steam. So dry saturated steam we call as the dry steam. So the name itself indicates the wet stream means it contains some amount of water particles, that is moisture. So dry steam it doesn't contain any water molecules, that is it is fully steam. And superheated steam is it is superheated. A wet stream is defined in 2-phase mixture of finely divided water particles and steam at the saturation temperature corresponding to the standard pressure. Next one, dry saturated steam. Dry saturated steam is the steam at a saturation temperature and at a given pressure having no water molecules entertained in it. And superheated steam, a superheated steam is defined as the steam at a temperature higher than the saturation temperature at the given stated pressure. So you can see the saturation pressure is this one, saturation temperature Ts. ആ Tsനെ കാട്ടും കൂടുതൽ ഹൈ സാച്ചുറേഷൻ പ്രഷറിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഹീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു സ്റ്റീമാണ് സൂപ്പർ ഹീറ്റഡ് സ്റ്റീം. സോ amount of superheated steam. So this superheated steam is having wide applications. These are having the variety of advantage and disadvantage. So that we see now. So what is the advantage of superheated steam? The superheated steam possesses very high energy compared to dry saturated steam or wet steam at the same pressure. Hence its capacity to do work will be higher. It doesn't create any problems like rusting or corrosion of blades of turbine and engine. So next one, the other disadvantage, that the high temperature of superheated steam poses problem in lubrication problems and higher generation and initial cost. So it is having the higher generation cost because we need to heat the steam once again to make it as the superheated steam. And then we can see the superheated steam is having the, and this is not the disadvantage, this is an advantage, and you can see the energy content in the superheated steam will be higher compared to dry saturated steam. Dry saturated steam will be having higher energy content compared to wet steam. Okay, though, so I will just once again, and steam exists in wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam. Okay, so now we see one more thing is called as the dryness fraction. So dryness fraction means, so if you have a wet stream, what is the difference between wet stream and a dry stream? Dry stream doesn't contain any water molecules. So that is why we need to say about the dryness fraction. The quality of wet stream is specified by the dryness fraction. So which indicates the amount of dry steam present in the given quantity of wet stream. അതായത് വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിൽ എത്രമാത്രം ഡ്രൈ സ്ട്രീം ഉണ്ടെന്ന് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം. എന്നാലേ അതിൻ്റെ വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിൻ്റെ ക്വാളിറ്റി എന്താണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാം. ക്വാളിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി, വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിൻ്റെ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി എത്രയാണ്, അതായത് ഒരു വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിൽ ഡ്രൈ സ്ട്രീമിൻ്റെ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി എത്രയാണെന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം. അപ്പം we know that the wet stream contains water molecules and also the steam. So this is not the steam, this is the dry steam. So in the wet stream we need to determine the amount of dry steam and the water molecules. So that we call as the and it denotes the X. So this is the dryness fraction. The dryness fraction of the steam is defined as the ratio of mass of actual dry steam present in a known quantity of wet stream. എത്ര ഒരു നോൺ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി ഓഫ് വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിൽ എത്രമാത്രം ഡ്രൈ സ്ട്രീം ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുകയാണ് നിങ്ങളെന്താ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക, ഡ്രൈനസ് ഫ്രാക്ഷൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. സോ ഡ്രൈനസ് ഫ്രാക്ഷൻ ഇസ് ഇക്വൽ ടു മാസ് ഓഫ് ഡ്രൈ സ്ട്രീം പ്രസൻറ്റ് ഇൻ ദി വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീം ബൈ ദി ടോട്ടൽ മാസ് ഓഫ് വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീം. മാസ് ഓഫ് ഡ്രൈ സ്ട്രീം പ്രസൻറ്റ് ഇൻ ദി വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീം ബൈ ദി ടോട്ടൽ മാസ് ഓഫ് വെറ്റ് സ്ട്രീം. സോ ഇത്രയാണ് ഡ്രൈനസ് ഫ്രാക്ഷൻ. ഇത് സ്ഥിരം ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനാണ്, വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഡ്രൈനസ് ഫ്രാക്ഷൻ. So next we see about the stream phase diagram. So stream phase diagram is the graphical representation of data provided in the steam table. Steam phase diagram provides the relation between the enthalpy, temperature corresponding to the various pressures. So in enthalpy and temperature it represents this one. So temperature and enthalpy. With the temperature and enthalpy it provides the various it provides this thing. So this we call as the steam phase diagram. So steam phase diagram, you can see that at A you can see the heat absorbed is only to change it to the liquid region. So you can see it is being just changed. So this we call as the sensible heat. Next what happens, this sensible heat is just boiled to make it as a water vapor, liquid state. So still it is in the liquid state, and then what happens, then it is being converted into the steam stage. So that we can see, when once if we increase the temperature once again, then it will go to the maximum point, saturated point. So here same thing, we can see the AB, it is being, the steam phase diagram is being represented in the A, B, X, C, D. So we need to see this one, and first we see about the liquid enthalpy. This is represented by a line AB on the phase diagram. When the water starts receiving heat from 0 degree centigrade, then it receives all its liquid enthalpy along the saturated water line AB in the phase diagram. So you can see the saturated water line AB in the phase diagram. And what happens here? Here it comes in the latent heat of vaporization. So water is being converted into the boiling point, and then it comes to the latent heat of vaporization. So here the enthalpy of saturated steam, any further heat addition results in the change in phase to the steam, saturated steam, and is represented by HFG, and that is PC. So any further heat addition will change its the phase, that is water to the steam. Then we see the dryness fraction. When the heat is applied to the liquid, start changing its phase from the liquid to vapor, then the dryness fraction of the mixture starts increasing, that is moving towards unity. In the phase diagram, dryness fraction of the mixture is 0.5 at exactly mid of the PC. Similarly, at a point C on the phase diagram, dryness fraction value is C. So the fraction of the C is 1. So the dryness fraction means the quantity of wet stream present in the steam. So if we increase the temperature, if we go on increase the temperature, then we can see the steam, it will be converted. It will be first will be once if you boil the water, you will be getting some amount of steam. So if you continually boiling the water, and if you go on adding the heat, so what happens, the steam will be getting, the more amount of steam will be getting converted into the very high amount, this steam will be getting more amount of heat, and this will be converted into the dry steam. So that we see in this C, and this is being represented here. So then line CD, point C is in the saturated vapor line. Any further heat addition results in increasing the steam temperature and beginning of steam superheating, represented by CD. So any further addition will represented in the superheat. So liquid zone, that is region towards left side of the saturated liquid line, is known as liquid zone, and region towards the right side of the saturated vapor line is superheated zone, and two phase zone, area between saturated liquid and saturated vapor line, is mixture liquid and vapor, mixture with very dryness fraction. So here the critical point, it is the apex point where saturated liquid and saturated vapor line meets. So saturated liquid and saturated vapor line meets. So that we call as the this point we call as the critical point. The enthalpy of evaporation diminishes to 0 at the critical point. It means that water changes directly to steam at the critical point, and thereafter maximum temperature which liquid can attain or exist is equal to the critical point. So if you directly heat the water to this temperature, then what happens, the water will be directly converted into the superheated steam. Okay, so this is similar. So you can see the steam phase diagram is very similar what I discussed here. This is same similar steam phase diagram. So only thing is, it is having a this one supercritical zone and liquid zone, and this zone, steam zone, etc. Same thing which I discussed earlier. See here, it is having same thing. So here we are having the liquid region, and here having steam superheated region. That's all. So Next one, we see the assessment of dryness fraction. The assessment of steam distribution losses. So this we study in the next class.